in Genesis 25 with that blessing. And he knew he effed up, man. He knew he effed up. How the hell you gonna give away your birthright? How the hell you gonna give away your birthright? Your own, your life's work, your future's wife, you just threw it away. You said, I don't want that. So guess what? It goes back to he always wants back that blessing, which is why he hates us, man. Because it goes back to that. He knows, not these peon Edomites. I'm talking about the head Edomites. They know who we are. That's why they make sure they put in their power. They invested money to put hell on us and flip hell. These decrees, these bills, you gotta pay. All these bills you gotta pay. It's ridiculous. On tax evasion. Why they put so much hell in this? They know. They know, man. Wait, you got a scripture?
There's Isaiah 47, verse 6. You see, I was wroth with my people, I have polluted my inheritance and gave them into thy hand. Thou didst show them no mercy. Upon the ancient hast thou very heavily laden their yoke.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, go ahead.
Esau didn't have no remorse. You know? Most I say, yes, it's sure I put my inheritance because they didn't listen to me. You understand? But so when I give them into all their hands, they didn't show them no mercy. Not even upon the ancient, meaning the old ones too. Understand? And I go back to Micah. I think Micah chapter 2 going down. Understand? Because Esau didn't have, he said my people was as a people astray who now come from my battle going home. And what I do, all I attack them.
Because why did he want to see the Bible? What did they have so much to hide? Because they knew our identity was in us. What was in there. That's why this old Syrian movie, I believe it was Night John. He said the little girl when she read the Bible, she woken up. She woke up. She said the pastor was lying. God was on the side of the slaves. The slaves, Israelites, not on the oppressors, right?
I can say one thing too.
Yeah.
Because I was doing some research, you know, on the Apocrypha, right? And the Apocrypha was in the Bible from the beginning. We know this, you understand what I'm saying, right? And they find that wasn't scriptural. But guess what? The Most High said in Revelation 22, he said, if you take anything out of this book or add anything onto this book, I will add unto you the plagues of Egypt. You understand? And Martin Luther King, you understand? He said it's better to read the Apocrypha, but guess what? The Apocrypha is the truth. Because the Apocrypha exposing all you wicked ass niggas. Especially the Roman Catholic Church. You understand? And the Pope. You understand?
Show you why Martin Luther King was a sellout, right? Because in the White House, Martin Luther King was one of the only few black men who could be inside the White House. You think they would just do it with any nigger? Why Martin Luther King? In Black history, they keep pushing Martin Luther King. They don't get in depth with no other black figure. They get a little Malcolm X, a little Rosa Parks, and that's it. But what do we even keep hearing? Martin Luther King. Why? Because they keep pushing that New World doctrine. And that's what Martin Luther King. I had a little black boys, little black, white, yeah, whatever the hell he was saying. They keep it singing us when we were little. That's the only figure they get into. The only figure they get, black figure they get into is they say, oh well, when they took all the white people, let's give them a little shine, you know. They get a little Malcolm X, a little Rosa Parks, but that's it. The rest is Martin Luther King with a whole month. Martin Luther King, that's it. All the figures to choose from. What about George Washington Carver? What about Lewis Latimer, Morgan Garrett? No, only Martin Luther King. Why? What are they pushing? What are they trying to tell us? Martin Luther King didn't do anything special. The little civil rights movement in the speech. What do they keep pushing? Why? Right? It says they won't push that Turner. I didn't know who the hell Turner was in school until I looked them up myself. Right? It says, however, people did score. The scores on scholarship is changing in recent years to include various other populations of Hebrew descent who have been displaced and dispersed due to enslavement, genocide, and other global forces. As such theories about mythical homelands, collective memory, the experience of racism, and the emergence of pan-Hebrew sentiment are common among notions about the Hebrew diaspora. In the contemporary movement, the ever-increasing demand for labor accounts for the ongoing displacement of Hebrews. Although four circulatory phases of migration of Africa have been identified to talk about the Hebrew diaspora, other scholars have entertained the possibility for various forms of diasporization among Hebrew-descended people. With regard to all Hebrew migrations, forced and voluntary, the Hebrew unit defended the Hebrew diaspora as constituting a people of Hebrew origin living outside the continent, irrespective of their citizenship. That's right. You ask them, they think they're Trinidadian. They think they're Trinidadian, African. Their identity has been misplaced. Yeah. No, hold on, not yet. We're gonna get into it just a minute. I have something set up. What makes the slavery so worse because out of all the slaves, we knew who we were. We could worship our God. We know the Lord's name. We wasn't on no bullshit ass religions, but when we came into this, we Christian, we Muslim, what the hell is that? We on all falling. White
in
man.
the house of harlots.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, go ahead. It's cool. They don't get to Moors.
Nah.
They don't get to the Saint Maurice. Why don't get to these other history? Why we keep push Martin Luther King? Why? He was only known for one speech.
Talk
One
about
speech
King
he was known
James.
for.
Why didn't talk about King James?
Nah, I ain't gonna talk about it.
You understand? Because hey, this man was a great scholar. A great scholar. And I was doing a little research on him. I can't remember the guy named who was fighting against him, just like how this is the truth. You understand? And in order for a lie to come, the truth must be revealed first and then a lie will come. You understand? So when King James was a man in high court, because he was very intelligent. And he was from the Scottish, he was from the Scottish part. And the man who was thinking against him was working for him. And he find out, they used to make what the Scottish and them as heathens now, but they seen it in that way, right? They used to watch them as outsiders and how the Scottish man could come here and rule and take.
They didn't like that. They didn't like that.
Yeah, can't. So they didn't like it.
They like to see us low, man.
Can't.
Low.
And they start fighting against King James, but King James was always wise, you know. And hey, sometimes I used to tell myself like it was just wisdom of Solomon come back again. They're just saying, right? Could be wrong, but I'm just saying because the level of intelligence he was up to, you know, to get all these scholars to do this.
You know, what I noticed about Esau, Esau's so cunning, right? Because now I just looked the other day, Kendrick Lamar, this rapper, they call him the next Tupac. He won I forgot a Nobel Peace Prize, right? But I noticed with Esau, they only will allow something like this to happen if they could approve it. They want to be able to approve it, so they'll give you this award to make you feel proud. But really, at the end of the day, it's no difference. They finally give a black man a Nobel Prize after so long. Kendrick Lamar, right?
Still what he said.
Yeah, go ahead, bro.
Yeah, because I mean, you see, but I was now talking about all these rest of doctrine we come into. So they probably say Christian, Seventh Days, Trinidadian. You know what I mean? There's Jeremiah 5:7. You see, how shall I pardon thee for this? Thy children have forsaken me, and sworn by them that are no gods. Yeah, like the Pope. They're no God. But these people look up to this nigga like if he's a God. You understand? You see, when I had fed them to the full, they then committed adultery. You understand? And as the brother was saying earlier on, a spiritual adultery. Understand? I think Wisdom of Solomon 14. You understand? When they created this image with this death with Caesar Borgia, you understand? They said that was the beginning of spiritual fornication. You understand? That was the beginning of that spiritual fornication. So when spiritual fornication come, you cut your power. You understand? This devil don't give you power. This devil can't save you. You understand? So and assemble themselves by troops in the harlots' houses. And if you look to behind us, they have a harlot's house right behind us. You understand?
Yeah.
They have a harlot house right behind
Zoom
us.
into that part. Zoom into it. Nigga just flocking to it.
Nah. That
They think they got
house.
hope.
In
They ain't got no
troops.
hope.
You understand? Like see a butt share, see a next butt share. You understand? That's harlot's houses. That was the most I called it. Harlot houses.
But you gotta remember why they think they did, because they think they have hope.
Huh.
Once you're on the rule of Esau, once you're the ruler of this Esau, this kingdom, you will never have hope.
Huh.
How they now? If you have common sense, how can you have hope in a land where your enemy's ruling? How can you have hope in a land where your enemy's ruling? There can never be hope. They keep talking about hope and peace and equal rights. You want this, but once the devil's ruling, there can never be hope. There can never be hope.
You know what? He's saying equal rights. Equal rights.
That's exactly why they flocking to there.
Yeah, come. You talking about equal rights, right? But how the earth is being replenished? A negative and a positive, a male and a female. So you can say equal rights and a man being a buller. You understand? That is pure wickedness. How that can be equal rights? They can regenerate. If the most I wanted, should there just be one agenda on the earth? You understand?
Look at this rapper that they have back then, Beanie Siegel. The dude said he hates faggots, and he never got big. You know the dude got bars and stuff too. He never got big as Jay-Z. Why he didn't get big? Because he didn't want to take it. He said, hell no, man.
They labeled him as homophobic.
Yeah, that's what they do. When you don't follow their custom, they label you as homophobic. They label you crazy. Why they won't label Jay-Z crazy?
But that's like saying this, right? You don't like germs. You don't like having germs, but then you say, oh, you're being germophobic. Who likes germs?
Yeah.
So being homophobic is a righteous act. You're supposed to be homophobic. Because a homosexual is unnatural. You're not supposed to have homosexuals in this world. But that's the reason why America has to be destroyed. Because America is the main one pushing those gays. If you in some islands, there's a faggot, they put them to death. They take a machete or a cutlass and they chop his head off. They put a bullet in the cabbage.
Like which part the Ebus is. You understand? You commit adultery, they stone you to death. They still keep that custom of you, how shy, because guess what? The Most I say, the rest of time you look up to Judah. Understand? You see this wood shall not divide from Judah, that's scepter. Understand? Because Judah is the head tribe. That's the reason why there is jealous the Hebrews. You understand? In Nigeria up in that country, there is jealous of them. Because the way how they operate, they're very intelligent. Understand? Because Yahweh is sprung out of Judah. Which Moses speak nothing concerning priesthood. Understand?
That's it, yeah.
Go ahead, huh?
Yeah, it says much of the Hebrew diaspora was dispersed throughout Asia, Europe, and most of the Hebrew diaspora was dispersed throughout Asia, Europe, and Americas during the era of the Atlantic slave trades. Beginning in the 9th century, Arabs took Hebrew slaves from the central and eastern portions of the continent, where they were known as Azanj, and sold into the markets in the Middle East and Eastern Asia. Now we'll I'm going to skip around. From the very onset of Spanish exploration, the colonial activities in the Americas, black Hebrews participated both as voluntary expeditionaries and as involuntary laborers. Juan Garrido was one such black conquistador. He crossed the Atlantic as a freedman in the 1510s. This is between 1500 and 1900. Approximately 4 million enslaved Hebrews were transported to island plantation in the ocean. About 8 million were shipped to the Mediterranean area countries. Give me Joel 3 verse 3. That's about 8 million survived the middle passage to the New World. Their descendants are now found around the globe due to intermarriage and genetic assimilation. Just as a descendant of the Hebrew diaspora is not entirely self-evident. Yeah.
This is Joel chapter 3 verse 3. You see, and they have cast lots for my people, and have given a boy for an harlot, and sold a girl for wine, that they might drink. Continue. Yea, and what have ye to do with me? O trade, which is the
Alright, slack. But in verse 1 it says he'll bring back the captivity of Judah and Israel. And that's what he did. He brought it back. Because we were enslaved before. But this time around is bad. We were enslaved before by a couple other nations. But not as bad as this one. That's why Yahweh is going to bring it back again. And Thessalonians is going to be a falling away first. So you look at this, which is twofold. Right? Meaning, number one, America will have to go down, and that we have to go to slavery. We fell as a nation. And we didn't just fall, we fell mentally, spiritually. We just fell. We fell down bad.
Say something to that.
Yeah.
Yeah, because village was an Edomite. And as you better say, this is the worst captivity Israel have ever.
That was a smart devil there, boy.
What?
That was a smart devil.
This nigga used.
That's a smart devil.
Just because I might have a little wave or coolness in my ear, he will make me and this brother separate.
Yeah.
You understand? And then, first Willie Lynch was so wicked. You understand? He said, yeah, what's going on? You see all them young ones who are breeding there? He said, we taking all them young ones and move them and get them to a different island. They're not going up around the old ones. Because the old ones was already embedded in the way of serving Yahweh Bashem Yahushai.
No, but if you look at it though, even though the village is wicked, you really gotta give this devil props, man. You really gotta give this devil props. This is a smart ass devil. This dude now just wrote down how to eat the depicted everything. Do this, do that, don't do this, don't do that. He would. Yahweh gave him that. Yahweh gave him that gift to the left, man. Look, the plan still affects to this day.
Yeah,
We're still separated by religion, by mindset. We're still separated. We're trying to have a business. We can't get along. We want to throw each other down. We want to resent. We want to get jealous.
Hey, crabs in the bucket.
Yeah, exactly, man. Just like that. So this plan is still going on till today. And guess what? We're gonna do the same thing with dinner. Triple, right? That was a smart ass devil there.
What?
This is for the very onset of Spanish exploration, because he said before that white men would just punish us, cut off our balls, whip us, but it wasn't mental though. Once he's mental, that's it. Right?
Hey, and this is something too, as I say, mental. Today, me and older folk than I was talking, in age he was older than me, right?
Yeah.
And he make a statement, and that statement really stand out. He say, a coward died more than once. And when I sit on analyze what you mean by that statement, a coward died more than once, because if a coward, right, get hit, he go be say, oh God, like in the cancer, like in this. You understand? Because in the mind, he coward. He have no sort of bravery. You understand? So he now depriving himself. You understand? He depriving himself and thinking, well, hey, we getting cancer here, boy. You understand? When it's just a one lash and it just sweat. So you say a coward died more than once. You understand? And when I listen to that, it have a lot.
Analogy.
God. And it have a lot of coward in Israel. Because they fear the white man. And they don't believe in standing up against the white man. So that them right there become a self-destruct to their own self.
But then again, look at it this way. How will they bite their hand and feed them?
God.
Because that's what the white man's feeding them. The white man's petting them. So they won't bite that hand. They know better than to do that. But as I was saying, man, back then, before that, it would just go far as they would shoot us. You know, it would just whip us. Probably snip a nigga's nuts off, but it wasn't really, like I said, it wasn't mental. It wasn't in full effect. Because back before we came in the scene, we even though we were slaves, we were still together. We were planning revolutions, rebellion. But now it got so bad, they started paying our own people to put us in the dust us in the mind. They did it so beautifully. And then look what you see now.
Yeah, and this is the backyard
To put
too.
us to sleep.
Just to show that the act came on point, right? They take some of these black folks, right, and set them up in parliament, and they give him a piece of money, and he now feel now he like the white man and them now. So now he now forget about the younger brothers down here, or the least of the brothers down here. You understand? So now a division going to start right there, because he gonna watch down on them, and them gonna uproar he. You understand? And this is what the system do. As the brother said, they start paying with own people to fight against your own people. And that is called psychology. Deep psychology. And up to this day, as Willie Lynch did, it's still going on all now. You know, just to say that Akim on point, on point, on point.
With a very close to Spanish exploration of colonial activities in the Americas, like he was participated both as voluntary missionaries and as voluntary laborers. I read all this already. He said, I want to get to, he would Hebrew Americans, Afro-Caribbeans, and Afro-Caribbeans. What are we? Aren't we in the Caribbean? Afro-Latin Americans and Black Canadians, descendants of West Hebrew slaves, brought to the United States, the Caribbean, and Latin America during the American slave trade, plus later voluntary immigrants of sub-Saharan Africa and their descendants. As the studies on Hebrew diaspora have recently moved in the direction of understanding its role in the formation of modern times. This trend is in reaction to the traditional way in which Hebrews, as diasporans, have been placed in the history books, namely as victims of or people without much historical agency. Often Hebrews and descendants are portrayed as representatives of primitive cultural slavery. The current consensus among specialists is that viewing the contributions of the Hebrew diaspora to the history of modern times gives a more complete appreciation of global history. The effect of the Hebrew diaspora or modernity can be viewed by the history and culture of the people from the Hebrew diaspora. Hebrew descendants around the world would have kept their ties to the African continent, creating a global community. They carry with them their culture, family, values, views on government, and their spiritual beliefs. Ooh, that's beautiful.
Hey,
That's beautiful.
hey, I must say, as a big up yourself, in that book called Hebrews to Negroes, right? That same thing is what I now read, that they carry the, and they think Babylon to Timbuktu and all too, I can't remember the exact page, that they carry the culture and everything with them. Anyway, when this man Christopher Columbus take the trip, not the trip, but the trip, like you know the sail now, right? And he come on the sea, when he touch down in Haiti, he see they had the same spear and same make. When he come in Trinidad, he see the same thing. So he's saying, but what going on here, boy? Like this is the same people. You understand? So everything was just the way how it was set to be. They just carry the culture anywhere there is. Israel can't hide. No day, no time. The pyramids was built by Israel, and up to this day they can't even identify how it is where the body used to go and all these things. That's what the Most High say. He say, Jacob is the former of all things. And Jacob will always be the former of all things.
Now,
Go ahead,
now that's beautiful. Now, what I just read. That goes back to Willie Lynch, because if it was a white man, if it was George Bush, you think he would have did that?
No.
It was some Mormons. It was
That
some
nigga would
Mormons.
have he would have kept his music off. He would have been quiet.
Boy, that
But
might
since his brothers, he want to make sure it's loud. But what I was just reading compels me to read this. Now, read page 84, and then you jump to 90.
All the highlights, right?
Yeah, just the green, not the yellow.
In the year 65 BC, the Roman armies under General Pompey captured Jerusalem in the 70 AD. General Vespasian and his son Titus put an end to the Jewish state with great slaughter during the period of the military governors of Palestine. Many outrages and archeries were committed against the residue of the people. During the period from Pompey to Julius, it has been estimated that over 1 million Jews fled into Africa, and we know it's not 1 million, more than 1 million, understand? You see, Jews fled into Africa, fleeing from Roman persecution and slavery. The slave markets were full of black Jewish slaves. And start 90 years here?
Yeah, jump to 90.
And start from here.
No, jump to the page 90.
Oh, so that.
Yeah. Read the other orange part.
Alright, come on. Page 90, right?
What did I just read? It says they carried their
But
laws.
right?
What did I just read in my pamphlet? It says they carried their laws, their history, right, their values. Now let's get to what this.
The black Jews on adventures over the African tribes, they carry their culture, history, laws, and written records with them. This assured them a constant precedent for the development of a higher so-called organization because of the stability of the black Israelites culture. The Israelites were not absorbed into the Antiochus population. In fact, the Jews absorbed some of the native tribes. The Jews made use of every opportunity. They were an industrious and skillful people. In the Jewish Ghanaian, that was it, right? Ghanaian states were found kings, princes, governors, generals, secretarians, treasurers, revenue agents, judges, architects, engineers, doctors, historians, language interpreters, mathematicians, jewelers, sculptors, mansions carpenters, painters of art, goldsmiths, leather workers, potters, armorers, saddlers, blacksmiths, and agriculturists, etc.
Right.
And Slaki, what did she say earlier that she's into agriculture?
Agriculture.
See?
Hey, and remember my friend Crystal?
Yeah, I remember. I was about to say that too.
Hey,
how
and
she,
look right
your
now.
boy.
And look right now, she have a degree in agriculture, right? And she doing that. So this alone could show you how Israel can't hide.
Yeah.
This is the things Israel love.
Can't.
You understand? Israel love these things. Yeah. And I don't know saying too, that alone back up that when the nation was scattered and they visit them, right, they all had the same everything. You understand? Because that's how Israel is. Because what the Most High say now, I think is 1 Corinthians 3 and 40. He said let everything be done in order.
Decently and in order.
Can't, you understand?
That's what was getting into, right? But they wanted that. How the white men want to portray us, how we this gangster, this thug, you know, the stereotypical figure, and that's not true. Look who we were. They gave a whole list of what we were doing, man. And the thing is, we were doing a lot before some of them. But they want to portray us in this nigga, man. That's how the words of view us as, and that's not true. We're way more than that. We way more as a people. And it's sad, Israel doesn't know its full potential. But they don't know their full potential yet. I'm talking about these ones in the dark. They don't know their full potential, man. We know.
That's the reason why I like this song from Tribe by Judah. He said, "You are superheroes."
Yes.
You understand? Because they don't know they are superheroes. You understand? They don't know they can literally live that car with their mind. They don't know that. They don't know that they are the real kings of the earth. As Solomon said, he said, I've seen servants on horses and kings walking on servants.
Yeah.
And this is what it is. And you see, that's what the Most High say. He said, my people do not consider. Because if they was considering this, they would have said, no, why? This Bible condemn any white man, boy.
Yeah, can't.
You understand?
Yeah.
Or they would have considered this, or they would have be amazed, or they would have be, hey. We is the true people because they have a saying, oh, never forget where you come from. But where you come from? You come from the top. You was a king. That's where you come from. You didn't come from the ghetto and the slums. You didn't come from there. That wasn't your destination. You was brought to that. You understand?
That's it for the lesson, man. So once again, what are we? could rap on lesson. So.
Alright, come on, come on. Oh, let's see what I'm going to say.
Yeah.
Yeah. All it was brought to that to the most high. You understand? But Allah is really king. So when Allah say, you know, some people say, oh, don't forget to get to where you come from, but nigga, the only thing you can think about is slavery. But think beyond slavery. Why don't you think beyond slavery? You don't even have to accept that question.
Yeah, huh. And
Understand?
this basically, we was talking about that before too, is, I don't know, it's like when you get into these Israelites, they're used to being slaves, you know?
Huh.
Because, when they grow up in the ghetto, you know, some of these rappers, it's like they want to stay in the ghetto.
Huh.
They want to stay in that kind of hood. But the reason why you rap is to get out of the hood, because you make up that money so you could, you know, do something better with your life. But some of these rappers, they stay in the hood, man. It's just like some of the slaves back then. Some of the slaves, you know, they wanted to stay in captivity. When it was time to run away, they was like, nah, there was nowhere better than this. There's nowhere better than this.
And that.
Where else can you get this type of food? Where else can you get a good house like this? I think that's called what, Stockholm Syndrome?
Stockholm Syndrome. That's how I feel that. Because, and you see too, Israel like to get to what they like to get to, because why? You can sell a little nickel, you can sell a little drugs, you can go a little fire. But the most I say, Jeremiah 4:22, he say, outside from 21, he say, how long shall I see the standard and hear the song of the trumpet? And this trumpet blowing, we're blowing this trumpet for these Negroes right now. You understand? We're blowing it. Isaiah 58:1. Cry, Lord, spare not. Lift up thy voice loud as a trumpet. Amos chapter 3, I think verse 6. Shall the trumpet be blown in the city and the people be not afraid?
Come on.
He said, for my people is foolish. They have not known me. They are such as children, and they have none understanding. They are wise to do evil, yeah. They're wise to all the sisters. Understand? They're wise to do orgies. They're wise to do evil. They're wise to go to the Obia house.